Hello guys, my name is Abraham Lincoln and I was the 16th President of the United States. I am best known for preserving the Union during the U.S. Civil War, and I brought emancipation of slaves. I was born on February 12th, 1809 in a log cabin in Hardin County, Kentucky. My log cabin was a one-room cabin and had dirt floors. My daddy, Thomas Lincoln, could not read or barely sign his name. I was a farmer and a carpenter. He was a farmer and a carpenter. When I was 7 years old, my daddy moved us from rural Kentucky to the frontier in Indiana. I have an older sister named Sarah and my mama named Nancy, but my mom passed away when I was just 9 years old. My daddy remarried to a woman named Sarah Bush Johnston, and I really liked her. She would stand up for me against my daddy and tell him that I needed an education. I grew up on the frontier where I did farm tours and read by the light of a fireplace until I was 17 years old. When I turned 17, I went to work on a ferry boat where I really enjoyed being on the water. I built myself a flatboat and ran loads of farm products down the Mississippi River to New Orleans. After I worked on my flatboat for a while, I sold my timber and returned back home, where I gave some of the money that I had earned to my father. When I turned 21, we decided to move again. This time we moved to Illinois, and we built another log cabin, just me and my daddy. It wasn't much bigger than the one we lived in before. Later on in life, I moved as a young man to New Salem, and that's where I became popular. I landed a job as a clerk of a general store and became to know my community very well. I was well known because I was tall and lanky. I was 6 foot 4 inches, and I was always known as a good-natured and bookish young man because I loved to read my books. I was appointed postmaster of New Salem, and in 1834, I ran for state legislature for the second time, and this time I won. I supported internal improvements and chartered for a new state bank. After about 4 terms in the state legislature, I landed office in 1841. I left office in 1841, and then I returned back to the public life in 1846 when I won a Whig nomination for a seat in the Illinois 7th Congressional District in the U.S. House of Representatives. I then became a lawyer and practiced law from 1849 to 1854. In 1860, I won the Young Republicans Party presidential nomination because I became popular after arguing with Stephen Douglas that we needed to stop the spread of slavery. In November of 1860, I faced Douglas in the election and I won. I was inaugurated, and when I was inaugurated, 7 of the United States had succeeded and created the Confederate States of America. 1 month later, the American Civil War began, and in 1863, the tide began to turn against the Confederacy because I emancipated the slaves. I let them go and let them be free. This was known as the Emancipation Proclamation. I then won re-election for president in 1864. This is when my story gets sad. Sadly, in April of 1865, John Wilkes Booth, who was a Confederate, came into the Ford's Theater where I was watching a play named Our American Cousin in Washington, D.C. He decided to kill me. I died the following day and was the first president to be assassinated.